Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
Alright, so welcome back to VNYC. We are here again for another virtual episode. This is virtual episode number 2.
And it's your boy 3. We got special guest, Verse Reed. We got Kreshonna Keane with us in the building.
That's true.
I've never seen anybody take a picture like this girl before. So I think for all the true artists and the photographers out there, just anybody who's ever taken a picture with an iPhone, ever. I mean, a selfie, a youfie, a groofy, whatever you want to call it. Y'all need to tune in and check this girl out.
And step y'all shit up, because she's really shutting shit down. And even when Verse pulled up, Verse came in, he's giving us what? A performance? Yeah. We getting a virtual performance?
And a freestyle. Talk about that later.
We lit her off. And then, on top of that, you know, we always got y'all with the 4 and 4. We can't let y'all get out on that. We got some Bronx history. We gonna kick it back over to 3.
We got 3rd Avenue one day.
Come on, you shitting me? We got y'all right now. We got y'all. Just stay tuned. See what we got going. Alright, so welcome back. I'm going to get you guys up to date on some Bronx history, some shit you might not know, but you should know. So I got y'all. Just remember Jerome and Abe. So the American Jockey Club and Leonard W. Jerome opened the Jerome Park Racetrack on September 25th, 1866. The Jerome Park's racetrack historic significance in New York, thoroughbred racing in particular, stems from the fact that Jerome Park's racing program featured many stakes races, one of which was the first running of the Belmont Stakes. So the Belmont Stakes was actually named after August Belmont, who was the chief financier on the construction of Jerome Park Racetrack. So remember, Belmont, Jerome, all this is sounding really familiar, right? The racetrack was named after Leonard W. Jerome, who was born in 1817 and died in 1891. Leonard W. Jerome's grandson was Winston Churchill, who rose to fame as the prominent Prime Minister of Great Britain during World War II. Leonard W. Jerome was a wealthy, very wealthy businessman from Brooklyn, who was also at one time the owner of the New York Times. Leonard W. Jerome was also the founder of the American Academy of Music. Hello, people. And he was also heavily involved in finances and was often called the King of Wall Street. Some bomb shit, huh? The Jerome Park Racetrack occupied 230 acres of land, and it was a first-rate facility. At the clubhouse, it was designated for the elite class, offering first-class amenities, and historians have written that the clubhouse resembled a first-class luxury hotel, not for broke hoes or broke bitches and niggas. On the opening day at Jerome Park Racetrack, it drew 20,000 fans. One of those fans was the legendary United States General Ulysses S. Grant. 3 years later, in 1869, that's when he would win the presidency of the United States and serve from 1869 to 1877. The first race of the park's opening day was won by an African-American jockey, Abe Hawkins. Now it's connecting, right? So Abe Hawkins in 1866 was racing at a time where racing was the most popular sport in America. Like, the New Orleans Times had hailed him as probably the best rider on the continent. Once he was enslaved. Yeah, he was a slave, y'all. And after he was a free man, he achieved fame and fortune and changed his sport forever. He became a bona fide superstar. He had a small fortune. He was running races throughout the North, including the 1866 Travers Stakes. And in another legendary race, he beat the Irish star Gilbert Watson Patrick in front of a crowd of 250,000 in New York City. And really, he drew the biggest crowds. He rode the best horses. And he also had that shift with the gamblers, because at some point now they started paying more attention to the riders as the jockeys opposed to the actual horses. He's that nigga. On top of that, the Jerome Park racetrack was closed in 1894 for good, and then the site would be utilized for a new reservoir to accommodate the growing population in New York City with the whole turn of the century, right? So with their concepts of how to innovate this large amount of acreage, and with all of the significant roles that this area and development have played within New York City, they decided how they can fix that up, and the land was used for some shit. So the western half of the Jerome Park racetrack was turned into Jerome Park Reservoir, right? And then the eastern half of the land was later used for, here we go, hold on one second, the Kingsbridge Armory, Walton High School, Lehman College, the Bronx High School of Science, DeWitt Clinton High School, shout out to the governors. We got the High School of American Studies, the Jerome Yard, the Concourse Yard, the High Pumping Station, the Harris Field. We have so much shit because of this land. It's insane. We can even toss Tracy Towers on top of it. And I know y'all know Tracy Towers. Like, it's that huge residential building that's built over the Jerome Yard that used to throw batteries out the window on Halloween that you don't really want to fuck with too much, but they got some good people. I love y'all, I swear. But think about how much acreage it has to be that it covered all of those facilities plus the reservoir. And they was out here raising horses. Like, that's something. And there's so many racetracks that we've had within the Bronx and also throughout the city in general, including Queens and in Brooklyn too. So don't sleep. There's a lot of history, and I'll keep y'all up to date next time, but that's some history for that ass. Stay tuned.
George Floyd. His name was George Floyd. Say his name.
Say his name.
George Floyd. Say his name.
Say their names. Once again and always, we fight for justice. Black Lives Matter. Go to blacklivesmatter.com.
So hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back. We now have with us Kreshonna Keane, also known as Visuals by K, the amazing new hot photographer coming out of the Bronx. So how do you define yourself and why photography?
So I define myself as an artist, but my medium of choice is photography. And why photography? You know, photography started out as like just a regular hobby for me. My grandma was always kind of the one with the disposable camera, like, come, let me take a picture of you, you know? And it kind of grew into something that I loved and really enjoy doing. I love capturing memories. I love capturing moments. That's really what photography is, you know, it's capturing a moment in time and being able to go back and look at that moment and remember exactly how you felt, you know? So why? That's my why.
That's a perfect why. Can't go wrong with that.
All right, so where are you from, and how would you describe it to somebody who has never been there?
I'm from the Bronx, born and raised, you know, specifically.
There we go.
Yes, and I would describe it as, I don't know, like the Bronx is, you know, kind of like an overlooked beauty, to be honest. I feel like there are so many different parts of the Bronx that are so beautiful and people just don't even take the time to stop and look and, you know, enjoy it. There's so much talent that comes from the Bronx. I feel like it's a melting pot. You know, you see all these different cultures of people, different walks of life. It's truly a beautiful place when you take the time out to recognize it.
I agree with you. I think the key point there was like taking the time to recognize it.
Yeah.
And the hidden gem part was for me.
So the hidden gem?
Yeah.
I respect that. And speaking of like hidden gems and things like that, like when I first came across her Instagram page, it was the Ghetto Rapunzel. You had a bunch of stuff going with that, and then you hit us with the FaceTime photo shoots when COVID hit. No, it was crazy. She fucked this shit up. Like it was over. I think Bella Hadid did something for like an advertisement, also using a FaceTime shoot.
Trash, by the way.
Basura.
Trash.
And the whole time I was like, they fucked up. They should have got you. So what was your inspiration behind that?
You know what? My cousin actually reached out to me, and I had seen the shoot that Bella Hadid did, and I was like, okay, all right. You know, I'm not really too interested in it. And my cousin reached out to me. She actually lives in Providence, Rhode Island, and this girl never gets in front of my camera. Like, I've been trying to shoot her for years. And she was like, let's do a FaceTime shoot. So I was like, you know what? Let me take this opportunity because I don't know if I'm going to get it again. And so we did the shoot, and, you know, it was cool. Like, I posted it on my story. At that point, I wasn't even doing the grids like how you see on my page now. And I posted it on my story, and people loved it. So I started doing a couple. And at first, I was actually doing them for free. I figured, you know, we're in quarantine. You know, I'm not really taking this super seriously. So let me just do them for free. Why not? And I was actually ready to just kind of be done with it. And then I posted them on Twitter, and it went crazy. And
On the Cash App, you huh?
They're trying to figure out how. That was the shady part, and I remember seeing that. You mentioned it, and all of a sudden, people was acting like they could do it like you, and they can't.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like it was really crazy to see.
Hmm.
Like, and people, I remember people kept commenting like, "Nah, what kind of Wi-Fi do you have? What phone service?"
No, but like,
Yeah, honestly,
it makes sense.
I thought you put like a camera over your front camera. I couldn't believe it. I was like, nah, usually the
Nah.
back camera is pretty clear, but
She
like,
snapped on it.
what?
Yeah.
That's nuts. All right, how did you master your craft? Like regarding like maybe like lighting and stuff like that. Like you have good light right now. I know like that's very important in photography. So how did you master stuff like that?
So
Or
it
like
was it was definitely a challenge, you know, like at first I had to kind of learn because I'm not directly in front of my subject. I had to kind of learn to work around those things that I can normally control. So I learned that like optimal lighting, so like, you know, direct facing natural light is important, or if you have a ring light, it can definitely help, as you guys can see, you know. Makes things a lot better. And then one thing, like when I was first doing them, I had people kind of propping their phones up on chairs, using books to do it. And then I kind of learned, you know, having an extra pair of hands is really, really helpful. So I started incorporating having moms help, boyfriends help, best friends, little.
Oh, that's the tea. Okay.
that's like a three-way phone call right there.
Exactly. So they kind of became my hands, you know? So it's like my eyes are being seen through the camera, but you're now my hands. So I'm directing them, and the direction is really key. Like the most challenging part for me was being able to clearly articulate to somebody exactly what I need and how I need you to be, you know, because I'm not physically there. So, but I mean, after learning all of those factors, like it was definitely trial and error in the beginning. And then when I learned it, it was like, all right, boom, I got this, you know? So, and another thing was that front facing camera. Like, at first I was having people use the back camera, and then I realized certain phones, like the front camera was better. You know, if your Wi-Fi is a little sketchy, the front camera, like it just.
That's what I thought when I first saw how clear the pictures were. I was like, that has to be the back camera. Like, there's no way a front camera came out like that.
I just assumed it was an iPhone, and like Bella had like an Android, and her shit was trash.
Yo, no
like
cap.
I thought.
You know how like they sell like the fisheye lenses? That's what I thought she had one.
No, it's the visual
like
lens.
Hello.
That's what it is. It comes with the payment. You gotta pay for her now.
I'm sorry, I came late to the party.
Exactly.
So, also while going through your Instagram, I noticed like a lot of Black and West Indian culture. Why did you decide to bring that to the forefront?
I feel like being Jamaican and Trinidadian, like my parents are both, you know, Caribbean. I feel like that's always kind of been on the forefront of my mind. Like my Caribbean background heavily influences my life, you know, my choices, my morals, my values, the way that I move in life. And so, you know, I kind of wanted to showcase that. And also being from this side of the Bronx, like Uptown Bronx, I truly believe that it's like heavily Caribbean based. Like there's a lot of Haitians, a lot of Africans, you know, and it's like, it's such a nice melting pot. So I feel like incorporating, you know, just home, where I'm from, and, you know, my culture into my work is important to me.
It's important to us, and I appreciate it. I honestly do. It's unique. I think it's needed. I feel like a lot of times West Indian culture is overlooked in a lot of discussions, and a lot of people are actually descendants from West Indians. So I feel like we just always get left out, but I don't know how. So I definitely appreciate you making that, you know, part of the forefront.
Thank you.
What is the See in Black project, and how did you get involved in that?
So the See in Black project is a collective of Black photographers, and we were actually all chosen to be a part of this master list, and they selected works of ours. We had to submit a couple works, and they selected the strongest pieces, and the proceeds. So we sold prints, 11 by 14. And the proceeds from these prints went to the pillars in the Black Lives Matter movement. So like, you know, different organizations that support Black lives and support, you know, Black advancement. So it was a really, really powerful movement. And how did I get involved? So a friend of mine, his name is Joseph Adamu. He is the creative director of Sunday School. I believe he may have mentioned my name to Joshua Kissy. Amazing as well. And then I had a couple other friends. Honestly, like I feel like they kind of saw my work, you know, but to be honest, I was shocked to be on that list. Like if I can really tell you guys and speak candidly, I did not expect to see my name on there, you know. And then I saw like a photographer that I went to high school with, and like Flo and Gala, you know, so many photographers that I know that are amazing. And I'm like, damn, like, am I really, you know, am I really?
Did it feel like one of those things like fate, like you were supposed to be a part of?
Yes, it was really like crazy to me. Like I kept going back to the list and I'm like, damn, like wow, Kreshonna Keane is really up there, you know? Like that was really amazing to see. But it was such a great initiative. I believe we raised over $250,000. And it went up really fast. And I'm so grateful to have been a part of it.
Wow, that's big. That's real big. What are your personal goals?
So I can tell you guys a little bit about where I'm at. So I'm actually interested in getting into more direction. So like, my goal is to become like cinematographer pretty much. So I would love to direct like films, movies, things like that. I actually don't want to do videography, but the direction aspect, and you know, I'm already a creative director. So taking that a step further, especially on films as opposed to just stills, that's kind of a direction that I'm heading in.
That's dope.
Do you prefer digital or film cameras?
So you know what? I actually shoot both. I wouldn't even say that I have a preference. I have a love for both. I believe that film is very, very rewarding, you know, because you don't have the luxury of seeing your images on hand, on site. So to get a roll of film developed, it's so rewarding. But digital, it's convenient, it's quick, it's fast, you know. So yeah. I do shoot mostly digital, but every once in a while when I have time to kind of relax and get a little bit more into it, I'll shoot film.
Now, you may not be interested in giving up your secrets, right? But this is a personal question for me. What kind of camera do you use besides like the iPhone?
I'm not one of them photographers that like, oh, I'm never telling you like what I use, you know, like people hit me all the time and they're like, what do you use? And I'm like, here you go. You know, like it doesn't really matter to me because I don't believe that the camera makes you, like you make the camera. Mm-hmm. So like I could shoot with my iPhone right now and still body, you know what I'm saying? So I
feel like that's like a West Indian like proverb right there as it is. I love it.
But I shoot with a Canon 5D Mark IV right now. Lenses like 50 millimeter, 24 to 105, you know, 100 millimeter. It just really depends on what I'm shooting.
So what's coming next? How can people get in contact with you? Give us the scoop.
Yeah. So I'm actually working on a few projects, a couple things via FaceTime, you know, because we are still kind of in this weird limbo space of quarantine and pandemic-ish stuff. But further than that, I am actually working on my first really, really large project for directing. It's, you know, a personal project that I'm going to be directing, a short film that focuses on celebrating Black women. But it's like different body types, different skin tones, but going a step further than that because that story has kind of already been told. We have women who have very distinct features. You know, one girl is covered in freckles. I have two models who have vitiligo, one model who is albino. We have a disabled model, a trans model. You know, I'm really looking forward to and just celebrating all of these different distinctive features that I believe just enhance the beauty that they already have. So that's coming up next. And you guys can follow me on Instagram, Visuals by K. And then my website, visualsbyk.com, Twitter, Visuals by K, kind of just, you know, the same all across the board.
Listen, sounds good. I'm so excited to see that project when it's done. I think it's going to be amazing. I can only imagine what you had to kind of do in the thought process to get everybody involved and to try to make this a success. So just, I think it's going to go great. Positive energy to you on that. And that's Visuals by K.
I have to think like twice before I take a picture now.
You got to get a ring light.
Like call me, I got you.
Wait, one more question. Okay. Have you ever shot at a sporting event?
I haven't. No, I'm not really a sports photographer. Like I actually shoot weddings as well. I'm not sure if you guys knew that. I actually shoot weddings as well. So that's kind of like my event-based stuff. Very, very large scale weddings. But aside from that, no sports. Why?
I'm calling you for my Black Love wedding. Don't you worry about it.
Okay.
It sounds like a not yet.
Okay.
It's coming.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
It's a not yet. You don't know what else.
Yes, let me know. But thank you guys so much for having me. This is awesome.
Well, thanks for coming. Glad to have you.
For sure. Stay tuned. We'll be right back, guys.
I really could rap. Most of the niggas with me is a snake. That only mean they be killing the rats. I don't know why niggas think it's a game. I got some youngers that be on the attack. My brother died with that gun in his trunk. So I'm around with that shit on my lap. Nigga, that's facts. Look, they got me ready to hurt some. Cause it's so big when I pull this shit out, all them niggas gon' think it's a Nerf gun. Niggas was never with me in the trap, but they open the link when the work done. Sorry, I flop on my dolly. None of these niggas my homie. I could be with 100 niggas phone, look. I ain't leaving no voicemails. I don't answer no emails. I ain't trusting these whole niggas. I ain't trusting these females. I could be with 100 niggas, and I still feel alone, look. I don't answer no texts now. I don't pick up the phone, look. I ain't leaving no voicemails. I don't answer no emails. I ain't trusting these whole niggas. I ain't trusting these females. Really want me. She getting feisty. I told her, girl, you gotta chill, I gotta wipe me. She got excited, so excited. She said, can she have us both for the night, yeah? Just a night, yeah. One time, yeah. I hope your girl let me show what I like, yeah. Baby, maybe shorty, she can chill for the night. I just wanna see if it get real for the night. Keep the lights low, got the Tron on ice. She won't lie what that mouth do in the night. 10 shots of Tron now. Baby, tell me what we gon' do, we home now. I just had an extra shot of Henny, I'm on now. I've been waiting patiently, what's taking so long now? Yeah. She gon' bust it open, I'ma watch her do it like another language. Shorty real fluent, she gon' bust it open, I'ma watch her do it like another language. Shorty real fluent. Shorty want me, she really want me. She really want me. She getting feisty. Had to step back in the trap because of quarantine. For that rap money, this shit just got too slow for me. And I remember days when they ain't even noticed me. Now I can't name nobody that is really older me. Without the money and the fame, now tell me, would you be here? I put baguettes in the Cartiers, now I can't even see clear. Say, niggas really chatting, they ain't bout shit. All my niggas really with it, yeah, I'm vouching. Don't do the internet and I don't do no clout shit. Cause if a body dropped, then I don't know about it. I hit the streets when the rent due, they ask us on the menu. 300-400 if you cop. There's a lot of shit I've been through that I ain't never tell you. Cause you the type to go and tell somebody. You use my weakness on me. Now you out here putting up a front. Hey, everything you say is so deep. You get every reaction that you want. Every time I hit the hood, it's like a ghost town. Calm as hell, so you know that she gon' come round.
Cause what you saying is a contradiction. The truth always come to light. You forgot to mention. There's so many things you could be, so many things you would have been had you listened to your intuition. Voice in your head gon' be the death for you. Immortalize you on the neck. Look like what it's getting to. Say my name, say my name. Wear my chain, wear my chain. Say my name, say my name. Wear my chain, wear my chain.
Hey guys, welcome back to VNYC. This is your boy 3 and this is 3rd Avenue. Today we're gonna get into a couple of topics stemming from that whole Meg Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez alleged shooting. We're gonna get into cookout etiquette, which is kind of crazy because people are still having cookouts, and resale culture. Let's start with the resale culture. I don't knock anybody's hustle, honestly. However you get your money, however you break your bread, that's you. I just feel like, and there's always two sides of the story, but I feel like as far as resale culture, there's a hell of a lot of things you could resell. Like, y'all are just reselling literally the most useful shit or the most useless shit. Like, it's either one or the other. It's never nothing in between. Like, y'all reselling stoves and sneakers. It's kind of ridiculous. Like, I feel like, and everybody's trying to do it. It's also not one of those things that's for everybody. Like, the resale culture is becoming huge. And honestly, I wear size 13. It's hard finding sneakers in my size already. it doesn't help that somebody who wears a size 9.5 has 5 size 13s and trying to get an extra 250 out of me. But I mean, if you get money, rock out, right? Speaking of rocking out, ladies, would y'all rock out with a dude who shot y'all? Like, I don't know if the stories are true, and I don't condone violence towards women, but there's actually no buts. I felt like Tory Lane lost his goddamn mind. Like, I don't know, it must have been the Casamigos or something, but he lost it. Like, at first I tried to imagine he maybe shot her, like pulling the gun out, like trying to scare her, but he shot her 3 times in the leg, so that wasn't no goddamn accident. That boy got good aim though. I ain't gonna lie to you. He shot that big girl a couple fucking times. He didn't miss anything either, but it was close range. Ladies, I feel like you guys have to go with the red flags. Like, stop going around the shit that doesn't make sense to y'all, especially if it can cost you your life. Like, you know, like, it's okay and everything's like funny, but you got some arteries in your leg. He could have shot the shit out of her. She could have really died in the back of a Suburban. Like, yeah, it's kind of terrible. And it's supposed to be somebody you fucking with. Like, guys, tough love is one thing, but you're gonna start shooting the women. That's a little that's like a little different now. Cookout etiquette. One of the craziest things this year, obviously, is probably like the COVID and the anxiety that people are having. Are you guys still trusting people to bring their own food or bring their contributions to the cookout? Like, I don't imagine that it's bad enough people was bringing like food to the cookout with roaches and the rice and all kinds of shit like that. Like, but now it's just like people don't even clean their hands on the regular. I don't want nothing that was under your nails from 2 days ago, or no sour you smoked last night in my mac and cheese and my chicken. None of that. Like, I low key haven't been to one cookout like this whole summer, and I don't really plan to be honest. Like, I had a couple cook-ins though. I definitely do some burgers on the grill in the crib. But yeah, like, I definitely suggest everybody to bring their own shit, even if it's food. I'll pull up with like a 10-piece of Popeyes or something before I die from somebody else's food. And that's also one of my biggest fears, because I love food. Like, can't help myself. But yeah, that's Third Avenue, guys. Tune into the rest of the show. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have a special guest here on VNYC, Verse Reed, a very special MC. He came to lay the balls down, spit that fire for us, and later we'll have an interview. Let's get into it.
So, when did you fall in love with hip hop?
Basically when I was like probably 2 or 3 years old, as much as I can remember. Like, you know what I'm saying? I remember when Biggie's Ready to Die came out, and I remember sitting in front of the speaker, you know, having my little lunch, whatever, and just like vibing to the music, not even understanding probably anything he was saying, but I guess it was just his cadence and nuance that made me want to, like, you know, pursue music in a sense, I guess. But then I took it more serious when I was like 17 in high school, and from there it just was my first love, and like it soared from there.
Okay.
Hey, Verse Reed, where are you from?
So I'm from the Bronx, so I grew up on the west side, Jessup Ave, and then I moved to a few other places. I grew up on Webster for a little while, and then, you know, I lived in University, then I moved to Bedford Park. So yeah, I've been around the whole Bronx, but, you know, I'm a Bronx native. So yeah.
So how would you describe the Bronx to someone who hasn't been here before? Like, they never been here, can't imagine, heard none of the rumors, None of that stuff. Like, how would you describe the Bronx to them?
The Bronx is basically just your. It's like if you was to take every piece of the world and put it into one place, I would say that's the Bronx. It's just like it's home, and it's you have your trials, your tribulations. The way you grow up. Sometimes poverty, can either take you to that place with successes, or it could take you to the corner, or it could take you to jail. Like it's really like in the air. But as far as like the flow and how the Bronx is as a whole, it's like just home, and it's like a homey feel. It's greatest borough. So yeah.
I agree. I ain't saying nothing, but that's the truth or whatever.
How about your family? Where's your family?
So my grandparents are from two different Caribbean islands. So my grandmother's from Dominican Republic, and then my grandfather was from Trinidad. So they both came here 2 different times, met each other, married, had my mom, and then like my dad is from the South and everything, a little bit of Caribbean background with him. And then yeah, so two reckless, crazy, young individuals just came together and they made me, and then had my little brother, and history from there.
So love is, isn't it?
Yeah.
In your song Hypnotize, you talk about being stuck in the system, or we're in the system to uninstall. Can you talk some more about that?
All right, so when I wrote that bar, then I was basically, talking about being a black man, and black man in America, and you stuck in a system where it's like, even it goes as far as to like when you filling out an application and your name automatically identifies you as someone that you're not. But just to your name, it's like they won't even call you for a job, or like certain things like that, where you stuck in that system, but that you have more value to add to it. So it's like I'm stuck in a system. We're working as a people to uninstall, to get rid of. So yeah, that's kind of like where I got that from. Yeah.
You also mentioned like playing hooky at Chocha Beach, but for those who don't know what that is, put them on, please.
Break it down.
That was authentic as fuck. So please tell us.
All right, so there's an infamous beach in the Bronx for like Spanish people. They call it Chocha Beach. So I kind of wanted to play off of the name. So me cutting school was going there, but at the same time, it's also me being, what I'm saying, with a particular woman I was with at that time. So it's like a new, like it's a play of, yeah, so yeah. So I wanted to play off of, the infamous name that we've always called it growing up.
All right, so one more bar reach, right? There was another one where you said, I cast my pops out my life. He was poisoned. Almost changed my last name to show him that chapter was closing.
Yeah, that was like a tough time, because it was I basically just got back home from college, and I've always had a weird relationship with my pops. So my parents ended up divorcing my sophomore year. So when I came home to live with my father, and we just like fought. We was going through some crazy shit, and it was just like, I was at that point where I was just tired of it, and I just didn't want to fuck with my pops at that time. We cool now, but at that time I just yeah, shout out to pops. But yeah, like I just played off of my emotions. Like, so me saying that I'm gonna do the most disrespectfulest thing I could do to you, just to show you that I'm tired of you. So like I had said, cast my pops on my life, he was poisoned. I almost changed my name to show that chapter was closing. I feel like, being a pride, like as a man, you would want a son to carry your name. So I felt like the most disrespectful thing I could do to you is to change my name, to show that, like, I'm not linked to you no more, because of,
you're not taking our legacy no more.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like, it was a play off of words with that. That's kind of like how I really felt at the time. So yeah.
That's cool. That's honest.
Yeah.
That's dope. What makes you different from the other rappers coming up or coming out right now?
I think it's just honestly, I think I'm more lyrical, and I'm like really being poetic, and using wordplay, and I'm like disguising it with metaphors, and I'm like putting a lot of effort into painting that picture. And I feel like other artists that are coming up now, they're painting pictures too, don't get me wrong, but it's like, I guess it's just a complete difference, because it's like, we in the era of the clout, we in the era of hype beats, being in the club, acting stupid, all that, And with me, I feel like, you know, I bring more of a classical rap to the
That's the
table.
essence.
Yeah, exactly, the essence. So it's like, yeah, kind of feel like that's the difference between me and these up and coming artists.
I will say what would separate you from the other artists is listening to your music. It sounds like you listen to a lot of music in your own time.
Yeah,
Like you sound like you study a lot, or even if you don't study it like necessarily, you sound like you just like listen for the joy of listening.
yeah. And I study a lot, you know. I've always looked up to, you know, the greats like Big Pun, you know what I'm saying, Lauryn Hill, Queen Latifah, like, you know, Nas, Jay, you know, and I've always studied and took bits and pieces of those individuals I named and others, and just, you know, wanted to create, you know, my own style, but bring in their essence into it. So, yeah.
Well, who's your favorite rapper ever, or who's your favorite rapper ever? And just because they're your favorite rapper, that doesn't mean that they have the best flow to you.
Yeah.
So who's your favorite rapper, and who has your favorite flow? So like for example, like my favorite rapper of all time is like Jadakiss, but
Yeah.
respectively, like as far as like flows, and I know like it kind of trickled down. Like Big Sean has a good flow. Like Big Sean has a really his flow is like yeah, it's crazy, and he has like a traditional like Detroit flow. Like it kind of trickles down from Eminem and the rest of them, but his flow is yeah. But that's part of the flow though. It is.
Yeah, and another thing a lot of people don't compare him to that I see bits and pieces of, and he's actually, you know, went on the record and said that this was someone he studied, was an artist like Slick Rick. You know what I'm saying? The creativity and
The wittiness.
That makes
yeah,
sense.
like, you know,
Yeah.
a lot of people, you know, he said that, you know, on the record, but like a lot of people don't take to it because it's Slick Rick, he's an old head, you know, all that dumb shit that people say. But like, you know, he's always said, you know, that's another person who took a little bit of his style from too.
So who's your favorite rapper?
Yo, for me, it's like it's always been Biggie, but like, you know, like overall, but it's like different artists that are in my top five that, you know, make up, you know, being that artist that I love. So it's like, you know, with Big Pun and, you know, hit and how he was like the shit that he said was raw. You wouldn't expect his flow to really, you know,
That's a
pronounce
legendary
certain
flow.
things. Yeah, exactly. So like with Big Pun, for instance, and then with Lauryn Hill, it's like the soul and the pain. Like I always, you know, gravitated towards that. You know, you really hear it, you know. And you know, like with Queen Latifah, you know, the boldness and the strength and like, you know, like just her style and the way she rap overall. And when you look at Nas, it's like the poetic, you know. So Biggie's my answer, but like I can't really say
Who got the
one.
best flow for you?
Best flow, honestly, would have to be Big. Like the way he, yeah, his flow was like it was different. Like it was definitely during his time and when he first came out, it was something completely out of the ordinary, and that's why he popped. So yeah, I would say Big again.
I can imagine. 'Cause even on the track, you know, he titled it Hypnotize, and you mentioned Biggie and Nas and Latifah, and you run through the list, but you still named it Hypnotize. So I had a feeling it was going to be Biggie. Like, I
Yeah,
thought that was going to be it.
I like the
he
Big Pun flow.
yeah, like he basically, you know, he's like the main sample of like the type of artist I am. So it's like, you know, like Biggie's like the real influencer when it comes to me as a rapper. And then you wouldn't even say these, like a lot of people compare me to Cool J because I'm, you know, I'm a lover. I always rap about love and shit like that. But it's like, you know, if people really like look into my style, they would see a little bit of Big. So yeah.
Okay, so let me ask one more question. Do you consider the studio performing? And if so, which do you like better? Do you like actually performing your songs, or do you like recording them? Like which is a better feeling, or which is a better process for you?
It's definitely recording. I'm very antisocial. So like I had like this face that like people automatically suspect that like, you know, I either
You
got
want
an
to talk to
attitude or
people?
I want to fight. Yeah, like I have that face, but it's like, you know, if you really get to know me, you notice like, yo, he's just really like antisocial. He's chill. So like, but when I'm in the studio, that feel of, you know, creating and, you know, even when you mess up, like it's just like it's like intimate. And you know, like when it comes to performing, I love performing, but like, you know, I kind of feel like I gotta give a lot of myself. And it's like when you're in
Mm,
the studio, you giving a lot of yourself, but it's like
just
you
you
the
there.
person. Yeah, it's just me. You know what I'm saying? So like I definitely recording is like what I love better.
Is anything coming up next that you want to tell us about? Projects? Anything you want to share with
Yeah,
the people?
yeah, definitely. Like I've been working on this project. So I put out my first project 2 years ago, and it did really well. As far as like with streams, I made a nice revenue off of it, and a lot of people, gave me good feedback. But like, with the second project, I feel like, it's like really my baby, and I've been working on it for, close to a year, and I'm like kind of like excited that it's gonna be coming out real soon. We're looking at the fall, and then right now I'm shooting all my videos for it. We're doing the mixing and mastering everything now, so I'm really excited for that. And then, just getting out there and people knowing who Verse Reed is, as a person and as a rapper. So, yeah.
Is there anybody that you look forward to working with in the near future, or is there any like hot features in the works right now? If you can speak on that.
I do got a few joints. Some people did reach out who are like up and coming as well that are like, have a lot of more following than I do. So like I've been working on that. But like for the future, like I would love to have like a type of vibe where it's like that Rough Riders anthem, and then have like just like mad different New York artists just all on that one record, and then like us putting that different flavor, like like I
touch a remix.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Oh.
exactly. Like pull out the guns and just like show that New York, you know what I'm saying, is hip hop as well as Atlanta, as well as other places in the South and the West Coast, like But I feel like we haven't fully reached that potential like we had in the '90s, and I feel like it's coming now. So I want to be in that wave and putting that together with the all the artists and shit. So that's another thing I really want in the future.
I'm excited. All right, so we're gonna have you come back and bless us with a performance in a couple minutes. But before we head out, how can people find you? Websites, Instagram, social handles, anything at all? How can they get in contact?
All right, cool. So all of my social handles are verse_reed. So you can find me on IG, Facebook. You can find me on Twitter, all verse_reed. And yeah, I got a lot of music on Tidal, on Spotify, on Apple Music, on SoundCloud. SoundCloud's flooded with music. And yeah, so you guys can find me all under Verse Reed. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming by. Just stay tuned, everybody. We're gonna hit you with his performance, and just stay rocking with us. We'll be back.
Rock it up, boy.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
But you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a course online.
You can do this.
You will find something.
You will find something new.
So we're back and we're here with The Sesh. So we still have Kreshonna with us. We also have Verse Reeds. We're gonna kick it off with a couple of topics and kind of see how it goes. So first things up, Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion. There's a lot of shit going on right now. They fucked up the hot girl summer. She was out here booming, doing her best, everything.
She got boomed.
Okay, so that's the problem. So speaking of her getting boomed, and we don't know all the details right now, except for what Shade Room says and all that. How do y'all kind of feeling about it? What are y'all thinking?
Like, what happened? Can we, like, I don't even know what happened.
I can give you the version of events. So what had happened was she was out here trying to be lit with Kylie Jenner, moving around in the pool. Stop, don't act like that. You ain't see it either?
How you know Tory Lanez wasn't lit?
Anywho, he was lit. I'm getting to the point right now. He was in the pool with
I heard he invited her though. I heard he invited her.
Oh, so that might make sense. That might make sense.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I don't know.
He goes to Kardashians.
He was out here messing with Kylie. Apparently, either he was giving Kylie too much attention or Kylie was giving him too much attention.
I know it's interracial and it may spark something, but Kylie got that back.
I don't know if you should see or not. So then what had happened was, after they left the event, all of a sudden gunshots rang out. She got shot in her foot twice. When you watch the footage, her foot is leaking. Shorty's out here not good. He's on the floor, sprawled out. A homegirl Kelsey's trying to get out the car, like, please don't shoot me. It's like a hot mess, but no one's really said what exactly happened. But there's the rumor that they was fucking, and now she blacked on him and she got booed.
I don't condone female violence.
I don't think she that
but
big.
that's a big girl.
But you people last time, I toppled her down.
Let's be realistic, right? All right, look. We seen the whole like Solange and Hope in the elevator thing. What y'all think Megan Thee Stallion would have did to Tory Lanez in the back of a Suburban?
I don't think she did nothing to him. I think she just told him by himself.
Shoot him, not shoot him.
That's a fact. I heard like 5'3". That kind of blew mine a little bit because I'm 5'3". You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, like.
He was 5'3". What like 20.
Yeah, he's short. He's short.
Meg is 6'2" with the knees.
Is she?
You knew that when you got on the ride.
Well, listen, when you go to roller coaster, right? You know that you might throw up, and that's all you know. You don't know if it's a guarantee. You don't know if you're gonna be okay after. He bought the strap just in
Megan
case.
tells you that she's gonna ruin your life and take your money, and then you're gonna leave and miss her. So what is it now?
She forgot the hospital visit.
She was a good look. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like that shit, that's a fuck up right there. I don't know.
I feel like honestly, with all the climate, with the climate being what it is right now,
COVID?
I mean, LA's always been bad. That's not the best place to shoot a woman. Like they ride for anything. So I wouldn't be not in LA. Hell no.
Why are we riding for Megan? Why aren't we riding for Megan? Where's the justice for Brianna? And why are we not riding for Megan?
The fact.
I ain't playing no Tory Lanez.
Because all the girls that would ride for Megan are probably in the WNBA. It's not that many girls that tall out here.
Oh, I really can't.
He might have punched the pony. He shot the stallion.
I'm not gonna speak no more because I respect her and I don't feel like she shouldn't have got shot regardless. And I think he's just chose her.
No, yeah, she's a woman. There's absolutely no reason to like. It didn't have to go that far. Like even if you guys would like had a heat argument and maybe she would have hit you and you chose to be a grown up about it, or even at this point I would have taken Tory Lanez slapping Megan Thee Stallion. Jesus.
Close enough. All right. State of Kanye.
America's small forward. She's 6'2", bro.
State of Kanye, y'all. What are y'all thinking about my gem man? What are y'all feeling?
Yo, you just gotta pray for him, man. He's been doing this back to back, having these episodes, and it's like it's sad to see a giant fall. You know, he's a giant. He's a legend in hip hop, so it's like it's fucked up. But you gotta pray. That's all we can do. You know, whoever he has around him, they gotta do what's right and let him know when he's right or wrong.
Yeah, that's real.
If I could just say a little something. So like, I wholeheartedly understand what they are going through because my uncle's actually bipolar. And so I've lived with that my entire life. You know what I'm saying? And to see that manic state, like I completely understand. Like, first of all, I feel like the world doesn't understand it. And so like we have people who say, oh, pray for Kanye, pray for Kanye. We have people who say he's crazy. We have, you know, like people don't really understand mental illness, nor do they take the time to fully understand mental illness, right? And also like people fear what they don't understand. So everybody's going to have an opinion, right? I genuinely feel that it has been labeled as that, but literally all he does is think differently than we do. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that I genuinely believe, yo, Kanye's really on point with it. Certain things might it might sound crazy, but to be honest, he really be onto some shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same with my uncle. Like I could have a conversation with him and he could literally tell me, yo, I was sitting in the car with Diddy 1 minute. And then the next minute he's spitting some facts and saying some shit. And it's like, damn, like, hold on. But you might have
That's still real.
You know what I'm saying? So literally, I just believe that their brains work differently than ours do, but it's not to say that they're crazy. It's not to say that they're not making sense at all. You know what I'm saying? People just have to really take the time to actually listen to what they're saying and think about it differently. You kind of have to challenge your own brain. You know what I'm saying? To say, yo, let me take a step in their shoes and let me try to think the way that he's thinking. So that's my take on it. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with Kanye. You know, like I genuinely respect him and I respect Kim's position. Like a lot of people, you know, sit here and say, oh, like stop sharing this and that. Somebody actually, I retweeted Kim's post where she was like, you know what, I'm taking myself away for a second. I'm not allowing my kids to be, you know, recorded or photographed or whatever. And Kanye really needs some time. Please allow us that. And I retweeted that and somebody actually tweeted me back and was like, stop sharing this shit. And I didn't even respond.
Wow.
I'm not in the mental capacity right now to even like stoop down to your level to try and explain to you why this is important. But I respect Kim because at the end of the day, she does not talk about it and nobody knows what happens behind closed doors or how deeply she's invested in her marriage and how much that affects her. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you guys so much for joining us for the sesh. It has been a pleasure to have you all. Thank you for running through our topics with us, all of our little extra rants and all that stuff. Thank y'all for being here. We appreciate y'all. And just stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Don't vote for Kanye.
No, don't vote for
All right, welcome back, guys. Today we have a very special performance from Verse Reed. He's about to bless the stage and tear it the fuck down. You guys, please enjoy.
I feel a vibe. I feel a vibe. Yo, niggas claiming they gods but never seem to ease. Spotlight on the great but never seen them bleed. I'm working hard with my niggas in need of Jesus' peace, even if it's plated with diamonds the size of poppy seeds. My bro sold them loud packs like it was retail. Moving way across the city, driving that V12 S-Class. Fuck a guest pass. Niggas acting hard. Bullets hit you like a chest pass. I walk around feeling like Rocky. Who could stop me? I'm from the boogie down Bronx, nigga. Of course I'm cocky. And my Ferragamo peak coat looking so stocky. Homie looking tight cause a shorty just call me Bobby. Little do he know she's in my DM. I'm tryna fuck her and her friend. Yo, I've been fiending. I'm screaming out David to the death of me. You my brother forever. Why they screaming out, rest in peace, I'm building up our legacy. All this overthinking and drinking has got me thinking that maybe we ain't gonna make it by the end of the night. Well, I'm gone. Well, I'm gone. Well, I'm gone. All this overthinking and drinking has got me thinking that maybe we ain't gonna make it by the end of the night. Well, I'm gone. Well, I'm gone. Chip. Well, I'm gone. Chip. Is he the reason you don't call like you used to? Walk through my hood like you used to. Let me put it down like I used to. All I ask is you keep it real. It bothers me when they tell me it takes time to heal. I wanna roll up a spliffy and drink a gallon of Remy, then turn around and get the shift in your kidneys. Musically, I'm Timberland and you Missy. We make a great team. You Kim K, I'm Ray J. Let's make some great scenes. Mariah Carey and Nick, let's make some twins. Or be like Rich Dollars and Erica mixed with sin. I mean, you had a body, but I was looking within. I guess I was the prime. You went and found it in him. I applaud you. Keep your head up. Don't lose those morals we installed too. Keep the bread up. Don't let that nigga try to off you. I hope you're doing well for yourself, cause it's a cold world. Yo, I want more for myself and need of selfish ways. Put my heart on the skillet and watch it melt away. This small liquor got me peeping the sound. Flows ill when I'm spitting, get deep then you drown. Yo, listen, these summer schemes got me thinking big. I'm just happy I ain't stuck trying to raise a kid. You see, I had to talk with God, I had to ask for help. I felt the pressure on my shoulders from my mom's and the health. And my pops just know a nigga gotta fend for himself. Everybody's off to college while I'm stuck on the shelf. Spoken word been the key to my brain, I read it down just to keep myself tame. Still I refrain in this negative space and time. All of my writings are my testaments. Niggas voted Trump and now I'm reporting this deficit. Through those dark clouds I always saw you as heaven sent. I love you, grandma, God's gift, I cherish it. Overthinking and drinking has got me thinking that maybe we ain't gonna make it by the end of the night. Well, I'm gone. Well, I'm gone. Well, I'm gone. Well, I'm gone. All this overthinking and drinking has got me thinking that maybe we ain't gonna make it by the end of the night. Well, I'm gone. Well, I'm gone. Well, I'm gone. Verse. Yeah. I'd rather play the goal position than intrigued by the gold intentions. My whole life, live yours. Stuck in a system we working to uninstall. Guess the beauty's in the fight, so I always side with the poor. I'm trying to find my own spiritual balance, forever thanking God. Then I light me a spliff and let my written spark. I used to cry cause my father would never cease to see that all the scars he embedded was rotting in too deep. Deep breaths before I take this leap. Owning all the shit I was using to sound my soul asleep. Curving all the negatives. Still a couple niggas I'm decking just for the heck of it. Young slum dog from the Bronx, guess it was heaven sent. I swear to God, get with the vibes. If you ain't with it, just keep your distance. About to knock a few rap niggas out of their pivot. I'm lighting up my city so the sky's the limit. I notice all of the patience. The flow sway like I'm basing. With Henny's what I've been chasing. Both the mathematics, my style's been the equation. Emulate the arch from the skills what you've been facing. AI, study, no copy, start from the basics. Reaching only lead you to facing the fucking pavement. Rose from the ashes, a bully with blazing greatness. Carter in the paint, be something these kids embrace. I'm a product of Biggie Punt, Latif. Nas fueled it in the beast. Haters praying and hoping I see defeat. While I'm giving thanks to God, my story's still incomplete. Rose from the sand lids, pyramids in the east. Hydrants in the heat, play hooky in Chocha Beach. Swear to God, get with the vibes or keep your distance. Lighting up my city, so the sky's the limit. As I sit back, relax and reminisce about my past and how I overcame every obstacle I've had. Pushed all my negative baggage in the trash. I was itching for a lick, had to earn my rights to the bag. Money ain't the motive, but ability's what I'm aiming towards.
Make the Forbes to try to buy out they sticks, of course. Couple times I felt afraid I was gonna lose. Stressing trying to show the world that I ain't the truth. That's the problem, no need to focus if they approve. They gon' tell by the fire you in hot pursuit. I used to lack inspiration and getting in tune. It got worse when I lost a part of my glue. So I pray in God's name he covers my wounds and put my past in a place I'll never consume. Cast my pops out my life, he was poison. Almost changed my name to show that chapter was closed. Instead, I'ma show him that I can never be broken. And now I got an angel, my mini keeping me focused. Mom's by my side, my human form of a lotus. I was shot down, family ties had to knock down. So many selfless ways, gotta stop now. I got the juice, Venti strawberry aside. Your bougie boost with more soul than any roost. Fountain pen, I used the tip to cut my noose. I figure that life was more simpler. At the age of 9, I was praying to get bigger. 14, Pandora's box was that delivered. I can't say her name, she probably sued for the figures. By 19, I found love, and it ain't last long. I still love you, but honestly, I'm just past that song. I'm 27 and ready to find my missus and have a kid with every album and see the limits. It's verse. I'm a product of Biggie Punt, Latif. Nas fueled the inner beast. Haters praying and hoping I see defeat. While I'm giving thanks to God, my story's still incomplete. Rose from the sand lids, pyramids in the east. Hydrants in the heat, play hooky in Chocha Beach. Swear to God, get with the vibes, so keep your distance. I'm lighting up my city, so know the sky's the limit.
So we're back with our final thought, and we're gonna start out with black-owned
businesses, to be exact. There's not enough large black-owned businesses, and the very small ones, which is a majority of what we have, aren't getting enough support, guys. We gotta step it up. Like, it's COVID, for crying out loud. People can't get business loans. Like, everybody's going through a hard time, and you still shop at the grocery store. You guys are still buying clothes online. We know that extra bread came in handy.
Let's talk about it.
Like, how much of that have you spent with a black-owned business? And not just the fittest store in Harlem.
That's real.
Like, all jokes aside, how much y'all spent a good $500 out that 15 racks y'all got over the last couple months on black-owned business?
And genuinely spent. Like, I mean, like, not asked for a discount, not been like, why is it so expensive? Not been like, can you deliver it to me instead of shipping so I don't gotta pay the shipping? Like, really genuinely supporting.
Not complaining we were allergic and shit like that.
Making up excuses and shit. Like, genuinely support. Like, think about the fact that what you purchase supports a family. It supports someone that is like you, that you are helping out your community, that you are helping out others, that you are employing your brother, your sister, your cousin. This is something that's impactful. And also on the flip side, now, the resellers may hate me for this, but the Teflon bags just came out and sold out in under 5 minutes because of bots. So you want women, black women who waited, and I'm not gonna say it's just black women. I'm gonna say a lot of people were waiting for these bags, regardless of race, sex, and gender. But the point is, y'all bought these bags knowing that we want to support a black company, knowing that it is a better of luxury that is made affordable for us, and y'all bots went and got them so we could spend what, 5-6 times the amount? Like, y'all are financially raping us inconsiderably. And I just want y'all to know that even though that shit's hot and cool and all that, I really felt personally attacked by that.
As you should. Buy black. Thank you.